Welcome to my channel. Master and Mrs. is a Nigerian movie. In the movie, we have Cassandra, we have Edward, and we have Rita. Cassandra is a good girl, and then the movie started when Edward went for his friend's birthday, Ushi, and Cassandra was in attendance. She went to the birthday party. In the birthday party, they played a very popular game, an interesting game that you all know, truth or dare. And guess what, guys? In that game, Uche made a ridiculous dare. He dared Edward to marry Cassandra. Wow. To marry any girl that he likes, actually. And he shoots Cassandra. Cassandra, she's a reserved person. She's a reserved girl because of her mom. Her mom, she's a deaconess, and she's a very tough person too. She's a church woman, like she follows the doctrine. She said no one can tamper with her heavenly race, and she wants her daughter to enter heaven by force. She doesn't want to contradict that. And then Edward had no choice. He married Cassandra, like in the birthday party. Actually, it was they not draw a meaning to it. Actually, just form of a truth or dare game or so. And then in that same party, there was some things, personal questions they asked Cassandra. She was not able to answer. The first time she dropped her money. The second time she opted to drink, and I bet that was her first time drinking, and they both got drunk. The next minute, they found themselves on the bed. But the funniest thing that happened and heartbreaking that happened too to Cassandra was she lost her virginity. Virginity that she has kept for years, all thanks to her mom. She lost it. She lost it to a truth or dare. What? Ah, she was very devastated and disappointed at herself. So when she got home, she sneaked to the party actually. The mom was waiting for her at home, and she's asked for them to go and do a virginity test. The mom usually take her for a virginity test, but she refused. She panicked at first, but her friend gave her the boldness to refuse her mom for the first time. She refused her mom. Meanwhile, Edward, on the other hand, he has a fiancée named Rita. Rita is a violent person and she's very mischievous. She had plans with Edward before Edward went for the party and he slept out. Guess what, guys? She gave Edward 53 missed calls. Wow. She's a very troublesome girlfriend or fiancée. Who gives a fiance 53 missed calls these days? She had to give the guy 53 missed calls because the guy stood her up, and she was actually worried about Edward. But Edward's family don't like her. They see her as troublesome and abusive towards their brother. So none of the family member like Rita, and she don't care about it whether they like her or not. She don't care about them liking her. She also don't like them because she's a problematic person actually. So when Edward came home the next day, she was still in Edward's house. She had to query Edward that where did Edward go to and all that. She even had to slap Edward. She is a very violent person, like I said. She had to slap Edward. But Edward got upset and then was carrying her. It's not like he was not going to hit her or something like that. But she came into her right senses and apologized. And before Edward came home, she had soaked Edward's clothes, all the clothes in his wardrobe, in the bathroom, as a way to retaliate for him making her feel bad, uh, and all that drama. Weeks later, Cassandra started acting funny, like her body system and all that. She was pregnant. When the mom found out that Cassandra was pregnant, she fainted. She was disappointed, and she saw all her efforts go to waste. and then she gave Cassandra 2 weeks to bring the man that impregnated her, or she would throw Cassandra out. Initially, Cassandra knew her mom was not bluffing, and then she went to Edward. Edward was scared, and then he had to say that he has a fiance and she should abort. But she was not going to do that. She was not going to abort an innocent child at that point. She did not accept to abort the baby. And Edward's friend, Ushi, also was supporting Cassandra because Cassandra was his longtime friend. So along the line, Cassandra's mom had to throw her out of the house when she did not see anyone come to accept the pregnancy. She threw her out of the house. Cassandra was stranded. She called her friend, but the friend was not available for her. She had to go to Edward's house. That was when she came to Edward's house. Edward was surprised to see her at his doorstep, and guess what? Rita was in the house. Edward had to lie to Rita that Cassandra was his cousin, that Cassandra is his distant cousin. Rita actually buy the idea a little bit, but with some questions and interrogation, she had to show Cassandra to the guest room and told Cassandra she had limited time to stay in the house or she'll personally throw her out of the house. Along the line, Cassandra and Edward fell in love. And when Cassandra was saying that she don't want to come in between what Edward have with Rita, and then she was going to abort the baby. Edward was attached to her already, and he was like, "No, don't go. Give me some time to think about the whole process and everything," because he was beginning to fall in love with her peaceful side and wanted to keep the baby. When the day for the appointment came, Edward had to lock the door to stop her from going out, but and then Edward had to confess his feelings for her. When all this was happening, Rita, she's someone that sees the future. I can say that because when Edward had to cheat on her, she saw it in her dreams. When Edward got the girl pregnant, she also saw it in her dreams. And she confronts Edward time to time, but Edward had to say that they are just dreams and she should not disturb him with dreams. But her dreams came to reality when Edward finally confesses to her that Rita, when Edward finally confesses to Rita that Cassandra was having his baby, and that Cassandra was not his distant cousin. She took it surprisingly. Rita took the whole idea, the whole confection. She took the whole confession. She had to pack her luggages, her bag, and leave the house. But guys, do you believe Rita would just leave the house without a fight? I never believed it because of her personality. Weeks later, yes, weeks later, Edward came home, face all swollen, all beaten up. And then when Cassandra asked him that, "Oh, what happened to you?" He said that Rita sent area boys to beat him up like that. Like they really beat him up mercilessly for messing with her. They beat him up. And then she had to say, thank God he did not end up with Rita because she's a violent person and she's mischievous. She's so mischievous that you don't know what she's up to. You don't know what's on her mind. And they lived happily ever after. And Edward have to propose. Edward have to propose to Cassandra to marry him, and Cassandra accepted to marry Edward. Meanwhile, Edward's sister Lily fell in love with Cassandra at first sight, loved her calmness, said she's beautiful. That was where the movie ended. Yeah, the movie ended there. Please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, kindly click the subscribe button. Thank you.